right, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to be breaking down how you can use AI to get access to more business credit, business funding, and business loans. Now, the tool that we are going to be using today is known as ChatGPT. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably seen it all over YouTube. You've seen it all over Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, how people are using ChatGPT to write better copy for their websites, to write up better funnels, how people are using ChatGPT to write up ads and coding so that they can make more money. So I started thinking to myself, why don't we have a way that we can use ChatGPT in the business credit world and in the business funding world to make our lives easier? And so I had a lot of clients that started asking me, hey, Irv, like, is there a way that we can use ChatGPT other than, using it for our websites, using it for coding, using it for copy? Like, is there a specific way that we can use it to make our lives a heck of a lot easier when it comes to funding? And so after kind of thinking about this for some time, I said, you know what? Let's make a video on this because there is a way that you can use ChatGPT to make your life a heck of a lot easier when you're going after business credit and business funding. Now, before I get into this video and show you exactly how you want to utilize this crazy tool, because honestly, we don't know the capabilities of it. We're just now starting to scratch the surface on this. Let me know down in the comments what type of business you run. This helps me create future content around what you guys are looking for. So whether you are in trucking, if you are in real estate, if you are in construction, if you run some type of salon studio, whatever it is, let me know down in the comments. And without further ado, let's get right into the video.
All right, I am over on the SBA website. Now, the reason why I am here is because if you're not familiar, sometimes banks, but more so with the SBA, they are going to require a business plan from you. Now, they essentially give you two options of more so how you can write it, how you can set it up, right? They have the traditional business plan style that you're going to see here. We're going to break down before we head over to ChatGPT, show you exactly how we want to strategize with this. And they also have the lean startup style. Now, the difference between both is with a traditional business plan, it's going to be what we say more comprehensive, right? You're going to have more data. You're going to have more information about your business. You're going to have more statistics. You're essentially going to have more information that you can give them, which helps your case out with the SBA. But sometimes when you're going with micro SBA loans that are typically capped out at $50K, that's more of a startup route. You may not necessarily have all of that data built out just yet because, again, you're more in the startup route. You're less than a year old, which is, again, considered a startup, especially in the SBA world. The lean startup route is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, and you can even read it here. This type of plan is high-level focus, fast to write, and contains key elements only. Some lenders and investors may ask you for more information, right? So if we're taking a look at the traditional business plan format that they have here, there's essentially some key components that they're going to ask. Executive summary, which is pretty much telling the lender or telling the bank the type of business that you do. So it's like a 30,000-foot overview. Hey, I'm a salon. We're going to be using the example of a salon studio here today. So, hey, I own a salon in the middle of Orlando, Florida, and we service, let's say, clients between the ages of, 19 to 50, as an example. Sometimes they don't ask you for age, but just an example. They then ask you for a company description as you're breaking down your business plan, which in this case, it's kind of like what they have here is you can use your company's description to provide the detailed information about your company. Go into detail about the problems your business solves, be specific, and enlist the consumers, organizations, and business that your company plans to serve, so on and so forth. Kind of like what you would have with a market analysis. So with this is you'll need a good understanding of your industry and the outlook of your target market. So again, remember, we just finished breaking down, hey, we service, let's say, clients, women between the ages of 18 or 19 to 50 that live in XYZ zip code who are looking for, let's say, braids, who are looking for hair dyeing, who are looking for maybe a hair trim, who are looking for maybe maybe products that they can also buy. We also offer shampoos here. We also offer conditioners that we make, that we also sell in-house. These are all things that you can include. as far as the organization and the management, this is where you're going to want to include something about your structure, your articles of organization. So if you have maybe an LLC, this is where maybe you can say, hey, it's me and a business partner, we're 50-50. Or hey, it's me and a business partner, I'm majority stake owner, 51%. My business partner is 49%. Or if you're just a sole prop, not necessarily a sole prop. You may want to, for this type of product right here, you may want to, go a little bit more into the LLCs, which we talk more about in this channel, as well as maybe like an S corp if that's what you've elected for. But again, you can still do it with the sole prop. You would just need to have it set up as, again, an LLC, kind of like what you see here. If you're just dealing with another bank, that may work. But if you want just a strong business plan that's built out, if you want to go the SBA route, or if you want to just go the traditional banking route, then again, set up your business entity the right way the first time, or if you haven't made those changes, make those changes, especially if you're watching my channel and you've already been established for some time, right? So with the services and the product line, this is where you can kind of boast about what you do, why you're good at what you do. Hey, we don't just do hair trims. Hey, we don't just do hair dye, but we also offer, let's say, a deep shampoo conditioning with the in-house proprietary conditioner that we've built up, right? It has 4 key ingredients in there that are organic. This is where you kind of want to sell yourself, right? Because they want to see, okay, has this company done any type of research? Does this company offer anything different to the marketplace that's not already out there? So this is where you want to sell yourself. When it comes to marketing and sales, this is where you really want to have your numbers dialed in, right? You want to know, okay, what is our trailing 12 over the last 12 months? How much have we produced? Over the last 24 months, if you wanted to take it that far out. So that way you have a strong projection. This is where you can maybe have and pull up your P&Ls if you have your P&Ls. Again, I'm giving you what the SBA typically wants to look for. If you stay throughout the video, I'm going to show you how you can fast track this so that, as you're following me through this video, if you're feeling, man, this is a lot. It's because it is a lot. That's why a lot of people shy away from the SBA, because it's a slow moving process. So the purpose of this video is to help you move that a heck of a lot faster, especially as you're looking at all this information that they need. So again, marketing, where are we at? Are we on social media? Are we on billboards? Are we on TV? Are we on the radio? These are things that they want to know. Same thing with sales. How much are we bringing in every month? How much is coming out every month, depending on the type of products that we're maybe reinvesting back into. How big of a floor do we have? Do we have maybe, example, 3,000 square foot floor, a salon studio? How many people are in there, men and women, that are maybe cutting hair? Maybe you have a barbershop on half of the salon, and the other half is maybe men or women doing hair or nails on the other side of that salon, right? What does that maybe structure look like? Hey, they pay X amount for the seats that they're at, maybe 110 a week, 150 a week. These are our breakdowns, right? And again, we're using the example of salon. You can kind of mix and match this specific to your business. The reason why I'm picking a salon is because it came up quite a bit, which is why I want you guys to let me know in the comments what type of business you run so that I can throw the more popular suggestion inside of our next video. And so funding requests, this is where you ultimately give them the goal of, hey, this is more so what we're looking for. So can we get 150? Can we get 75K? Can we get $250,000? And with this, you want to identify kind of like here in the financial projection. So you kind of want to loop this and tie this piece right in here. And you want to say, okay, based off of the 150, 200 that I'm going to get, again, you're kind of selling yourself. This is how we're going to use it. And so now you kind of want to work the numbers backwards. Say, hey, if we get access to $75,000, we are going to use that toward a new lease. At that new lease, we'll be able to bring in 4 more chairs. With 4 more chairs, on average, it's 150, but we're also taking, let's say, a percentage of how much revenue or how much, let's say, sales each of those stylists makes. Again, throwing these numbers out there, everyone structures their business differently. And so let's say if each stylist is bringing in $1,000 a week, let's say if you're charging them 15%, that's $150 in addition to the $150 that you're charging them for the chair. So at 300 times 4, that's $1,200. At 4, we're sitting at right around $4,800, give or take. These are all financial projections. If you have these numbers, great. If, again, you're a startup, you want to give them kind of like, you want to cast the vision of this is where we're headed. And you do this by having a strong business plan. You do this by having all of your documents in order. Now, if your business is already established, like what you'll see here, include income statements, because this is going to solidify your business, your balance sheets, and cash flow statements for the last 3 to 5 years. If you have other collateral, you can put against the loan. Make sure to list it now. This is if you wanted to collateralize it. Is it necessary? If you wanted a higher amount, is it 100% what we say? Is it a must-have? No, unless they ask for it and they say, hey, based off of where your business is, you may or may not get approved. Is there something that you want to collateralize? At that point, you can make the judgment call. But again, I've seen clients get approved for SBA loans without having to collateralize anything. Now, one last thing that I wanted to kind of touch on here before we head over to ChatGPT is this is the lean format, which is kind of like what you just had here, but what I call the 30,000 foot overview. So this is like the movie. This right here is like the preview. If I had to break it down into something that we would all be able to say, okay, I get it. Key partnerships, key activities, key resources, your value proposition, kind of like what we mentioned earlier, what makes you different from everyone else in the marketplace, your customer relationships. So is there a specific clientele that you tend to attract, right? Is it a younger crowd? Is it an older crowd? Is it more Latinos? Is it more African Americans? Is it more, single moms, single soccer moms? Hanging out that are dropping off their kids and they're coming out to your spa to kind of just hang out, right? You have to know these things in your business. Again, the cost of the structure and the revenue streams. This is just a complete overview of what we just broke down up here. Financial projections and then your funding request, right? Now I want to take you over to ChatGPT so that we can bring this together and so that I can really make sense of why doing it this way could take you significantly longer versus using some of the tools that we have now. All right, now we are over on ChatGPT OpenAI. And so this is the prompt that I'm going to give it right here. So if you want to write this down or if you're following along, write me an SBA compliant business plan about, and then you would insert your industry or insert your type of business. But again, for the purpose of today's example, we are going to use let's say, salon studio. We're going to hit enter. And then now what's going to happen is based off of all the criteria that the SBA is looking for that we just finished breaking down, it's going to now break that down into what I call a framework that we can then use to customize to our own business plan that we can present again to a bank, to the SBA, so that we can go out and get some high limit funding. Now, as it's creating this, I want you to see how it's structuring it. And the reason why this is important is because unless you already had all of this information set up, and unless you've already been doing this for years and years and you've been tracking this data, this part right here knocks a lot of people down. And the reason why it knocks a lot of people down is because, as you can see, how thorough this is for each and every section. And again, based on how the SBA wants to see it, which is what makes it powerful. So there is no more guesswork here. Right? This is why we can't be afraid of technology. We have to use technology. We can't control how fast technology is going to move, and we can't control what's going to happen next. But what we can control is our ability to adapt and use it in our businesses and use it to adapt into, again, an ever-changing landscape. And so as this is finishing this up right here, I'm going to start at the top as to how this is structured. So as you can see here, executive summary, Salon Studio is a startup business that aims to provide high quality hair and beauty services to customers in the local area. Now, obviously with this right here, like one of the ways that you can tweak it is our Salon Studio, let's say Irv's Hair Studio, right? So we would say, let's say our studio, Irv's Hair Studio, is a startup, or let's say we've been in business for 3 years, is a business that's been in the community for over 3 years. We provide high quality hair and beauty services to customers in, and I would just insert Orlando, Florida. In, I would insert the community. In, and I would just insert maybe the city. You want to be specific with the area that you're servicing, because that way it lets them know, hey, this business has a kind of like a footprint inside of their area. They want to see that. Here, going on to the company overview, is Salon is a sole proprietor. So again, I can tweak this if I wanted to and say, our salon, again, Irv's Hair, is a, let's say, a corporation, is an enterprise, is a company. The way that we're structured is we have an LLC, or you can say Irv's Hair LLC. The business will be located in and then this is where you would put, again, your address right here. And before going forward, I just want you to know, with this right here, you don't have to necessarily use everything that it's giving you, because I'm going to show you some different prompts that you can give it to tweak it, make it your own, kind of summarize it, condense it. But remember, when you're taking the more detailed business plan route, which is going to give you the best shot of getting approved, not just approved period, but approved for a higher amount, the more details you have about your business in this case, again, especially with the SBA, the better. It's going to save you so much leg room on the back end from having to go back in. Hey, we need this. Hey, we need that. Hey, you forgot to include this. I'd rather, what's the saying? I'd rather measure twice and cut once, right? I'd rather measure twice and cut once. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're getting the company overview. So with the market analysis, the hair and beauty industry is growing with an increasing demand for personalized and high quality services. The local area, so let's say our local area, right, of approximately 50,000 people. And so again, we can tweak this to specific to your numbers. There's just a little bit of homework that you have to do, but the framework is already built out for you with the median income of $60,000 per year. Obviously, that changes if you're a hairstylist in New York. Obviously, that changes if you're a hairstylist in the middle of maybe Alabama. Obviously, that changes if you're a hairstylist in the middle of Texas. And so you want to get numbers that are specific to your area. And so if the target market, so for example, here, the target market for our salon studio is women and men of all ages. So again, if maybe you're more specific, hey, we're in a college demographic and we specifically work with college students between the ages of 19 to 28. Maybe that's a number that you want to put on there. So here's your competitive analysis. There are several, and this is what I call you selling yourself to them, right? There are several established hair and beauty salons in the local area, but again, you can insert your name here. Our salon, Herbs Salon Studio, will differentiate itself by offering a unique and personalized experience. Now, on here, you can put what your value proposition is. Hey, we have, again, that shampoo and conditioner that people come into because it's organic. We've made it in-house. It's been tested. It's been approved by the city. It's been approved by the states. Like, there's no harmful chemicals in there that we use. Boom, you would have that in there. It's been patented, whatever it is. You can include that in there. Hey, we have the best licensed masseuse in the area. We have 5-star reviews on Google. You can check us out right here. Boom, drop the website. And so as you can see, it goes down and just continues breaking down more so what your salon or what your business is looking to get, right? Or how it's structured. But at the end, it's looking for what it's looking to get. So financial projections is right here to generate over $300,000 in the first year and $500,000 in the second year. The total startup cost for the business is an estimated $100,000, which will be funded through personal savings, a bank loan, and a small business grant. The business will break even in the second year of operation with a net of $50,000 in the first and $100,000 in the second, right? So I want to add this right here before kind of bringing this all back together for you, right? Rewrite this as a salon owner, or let's do this, as a new salon studio owner in, let's pick Los Angeles. I get a lot of you guys from Los Angeles. Can't spell today. Los Angeles. Boom. So now what's going to happen is it's going to give me, I gave it a prompt. So now it's going to essentially take everything that I just gave me. If I'm looking for maybe a framework that's a bit more customized to me, that was a good, what I say, foundation. But if I wanted something that's more specific to me, my demographic, my area, I can now give it an extra prompt before I decide to start working off of that base. The base that it gave us is fantastic, by the way. Like this right here, as that's loading, this right here is a fantastic base that you can work off of. I'm just letting you know. Most people, and I don't mean this like in a mean way, I just think just because AI is freaking good at what it does, that's why so many people are scared of it. Most people wouldn't be able to piece this together just thinking about it, which is why using this as almost like a head start as fuel on a rocket is something that you really want to consider, which is why I'm making this training for you. And so now that it's giving me, again, it's moving a little bit slower, But now that it's giving me the prompt, you're going to see that it's going to give me the exact layout. So executive summary, company overview, market analysis, competitive analysis. It's going to start giving me this right here. And so now you can see it started to customize it a little bit more as a new owner of a salon studio in Los Angeles. I'm excited to provide high quality hair and beauty services to the local community. It's giving me, for the most part, the same context of what we do for work, what our business is, but it's giving it to us in a way that, again, is specific to our area, specific to where we live. Now, if you wanted to go, I always say go 3 levels deep. You can prompt it to say, hey, rewrite 3 or 4 different versions of this. That's one prompt that you can give it. Hey, rewrite 3 or 4 different versions of this, which I like, 3 or 4 different versions of this at a 5th grade reading level. I like that a lot because it helps me when I'm using ChatGPT. It helps me really kind of like hone in the purpose of the message. And so it can remove a lot of fluff of maybe things that you don't need, that you think you do, right? But as you can see here, it's working. For the most part, you get the point. I would suggest that you play around with this. It's a fantastic tool that you can use. Again, it's going to save you so much time, but it's going to help you on the back end so much with getting access to more approvals and getting access to, again, more money from the bank. And if the banks are using AI, then this is something that you want to look into as well, because they're using AI to determine whether or not they're going to approve you. So you might as well use AI as well so that you can increase your approval odds.
So there you have it. This is just one of the ways that you can use ChatGPT to strengthen your business and help you get access to funding from banks. If you found value in this content, consider hitting the subscribe button down below and join the community. Don't forget that anytime I'm not posting on here, I'm posting over on our second channel, which is our podcast, Insight with Irv. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking me out. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.